guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about my 2026 financial predictions, what items and categories of things I think are going to increase in price and how you can prepare for it now. So let's get to it. Okay, so the labor market, AI, tariffs, interest rates, inflation, there's all these factors that impact the economy and impact prices of things. So whether or not it's going to go up or go down, nobody really knows. No one has a real true crystal ball, but there's definitely a lot of predictions out there. And so I hope a lot of these things do come down in price, but I also I believe they're going to rise. So the prices of things I think are going to continue to go up for a bit. So because of the tariffs on imported goods, the price is more expensive to the consumer. A lot of times the companies pass that hike in price over to the people who are purchasing those products. So the things that I think are going to go up is kitchen appliances, right? So microwaves, dishwashers, refrigerators, home decor products, tools, hardware, electronics, tablets, headphones, like pretty much anything seasonal, holiday decorations, a lot of them say from China. So all those things I think are going to increase in price. And what I have been doing is shopping secondhand like a fiend. I've been thrifting all holiday decor, everything I can get my hands on that I like, of course, but it's like been so much. I feel as if I'm saving so much money. Artwork, I purchased like $100 Renoir print at a thrift store for $6. It was framed, beautiful, and I'm so excited about it. But so in order to save money on some of these items, if you haven't been thrifting, I did a video not so long about it, but if you haven't been thrifting, I would say now's the time to get started on it. Like give it a try, go to your local Goodwill or thrift store and just look around and hit it often so you can find some things because it is hit or miss. Sometimes things are there, sometimes they're not. If you see something you like, grab it and hold on to it and walk around with it till you decide if you want it or not, because otherwise you might walk back and it's gone. Someone else is going to pick it up. But I see a huge increase in the number of people in these stores. Like I am shocked. Like there are so many more people shopping thrift stores and secondhand. So a lot of these items, even appliances, if you go to there's some overstock stores who or slightly damaged, and when people return brand new appliances, it might have a little ding in it or something, you can get it at a discounted price. So I would say now's the time to start shopping secondhand for everything pretty much, if you can, as far as all those categories that I just named. And also repair them. If you have a broken oven, then try to look up how to fix it. Maybe there's a part in the back that you can just order the part off of Amazon. Amazon has pretty much everything. A lot of times it has it even at a better price than what you'd find in the big box stores. And it's delivered next day. And so you can get the part maybe for just a few dollars and replace it and try to keep your appliances running that way versus buying or replacing them brand new. Next category is groceries. Groceries has been a pain point for a lot of us for a while now, but I think that the price of groceries is going to continue to rise. Okay, produce after certain areas have been hit by drought. So how can you prepare for this? So if you have a butler's pantry, or maybe in your basement you have some shelves, you can kind of start to stock up on some canned goods. That way you always have something on hand that you can use in recipes or even if you have some kind of power outage. I think it's not a bad idea to sort of stock up on some of these items in like a buffer pantry, I guess you would call it. So also explore store brands versus name brand products in the grocery store. Those are often just as good. A lot of times they're exactly the same ingredients. So those are almost always less expensive than name brand. And then also meal plan around what's on sale. So if you're looking through your weekly sales flyer, if people still do that, we do, then you can see what is on sale that week, and then you can plan your meals around it. Okay, next category is mortgages or houses. Okay, so I keep hearing all this stuff for years. I've been hearing this stuff about a housing crash and how it's happening. And housing is going to go, we're going to have another big crash just like in 2008. And whether or not that happens, I don't know. But interest rates, they might come down a little bit, but I don't think they're ever really going to come down to what they were before, like those crazy lows, like 2%. So even if the interest rates come down though, and the housing prices come down a little bit, housing is still expensive because insurance is just out of control. So homeowners insurance costs are rising. So because of, floods, hurricanes, wildfires, the insurance companies are now charging more for homeowners insurance. So that price is going to go up, which is going to increase your mortgage cost every month. So in order to prepare for this, really do your best to save as much as you can for a down payment. Take a little bit longer to do that if you can. You don't have to jump right into home ownership. And I would say try to save as much as you can into some kind of sinking fund. And then also perhaps shop for a house that's not quite so large. I think that especially here in America, people have some really large homes, and it's just the larger the house is, the more stuff you have in it. And almost maybe the less close you are with your family, with your kids. I feel like a smaller home is a little bit cozier. It forces you guys to stay, more together around each other. You don't have to text someone or call someone to get them to come to dinner because you can just shout their name and they can hear you. So maybe try to shift that mindset. I'd almost prefer a much smaller home with more land around it to have more privacy. So big houses, they are nice though in some respects as far as entertaining, but I think that it's not necessary for most people to have these mega huge homes, especially with the sizes of their families. If you're just a family of 4, maybe you don't need a 2,500 square foot home. So if you have a smaller home, it'll cost less, and your kids can share a room. My kids share a room. I shared a room. Of course, if they haven't been, it might be hard to go back to that if they're older, but it is possible. It is definitely something that's doable, and it will save you money and make home ownership more affordable if you can compromise and get a smaller sized home with a larger down payment that you waited a little bit longer for. Okay, car prices. I feel like I've been waiting for car prices to come down, and it just is not happening. I am just blown away by how expensive a new car is today. So I do think car prices are going to continue to rise. Parts for cars are expensive. Labor is expensive to build cars. And so what can you do about it if you need transportation? So I definitely obviously try to have a sinking fund for a car and for car repairs. We have a specific bank account, and I label the debit card. I write the word, it just says car. I took a Sharpie and wrote car on the front of it. And that card and that bank account is specifically for car repairs, and it's sort of a sinking fund to build up for car replacement. So every time we have to get something done to the car, we use that account. And every single time I get paid a certain amount of money, I think it might be $380 a paycheck, but the money goes in there. It just goes in there every paycheck, and that's for car repair, car replacement. So whatever a car payment would be, right? Whatever. And we haven't had a car payment in like 10 years, but I think it's $500 to $700, maybe more at this point, is the average car payment in America. So if you were to take that amount of money and just, if you don't have a car payment, if you have a car payment currently, it is hard to do, I understand. But like if you're putting some money aside, at least for car repairs, and then trying to build up some kind of fund to replace your car. And when you do go to replace your car, you want to be hopefully purchasing something that's older, less expensive, but it can be hard to find. But try to keep up on the maintenance of your current car, because if you can keep it maintained, do your oil changes, and make sure that you're driving it gently, you're not running over curbs and, taking, I drive so slow. I get honked at all the time. And because I drive older cars, they don't accelerate as quickly, but man, I cannot believe how impatient everyone is on the road and just so terrible to each other. But if you can try to drive your car more gently, I need like a bumper sticker on the back that says, I'm trying to save my car. Like I don't want, some kind of funny bumper sticker. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I need to purchase something on Etsy. But maintain your car with its maintenance and do the things you need to do to try to make it last longer. I'm taking my cars to the end, like until they literally fall apart. Like as long as they can drive, I'm keeping them. In Pennsylvania, we have inspections, annual inspections. If it passes that inspection, it's good to go another year. We're just going to continue moving it along. And it's not as comfortable like the trunk leaks a little bit, the skylight leaks a little bit sometimes when it's really raining, but whatever. I really don't care. It gets me to where I have to go. So anyway, so create a sinking fund, keep up with your maintenance. Okay, price creep is kind of a real thing where you don't really notice, and it happens with everyday items like just cleaning products around the house. Like you don't like it could go up like several, cents, and that's not a lot, but like if you're purchasing those products, frequently, that does add to your cost. So, stocking up on cleaning supplies and toiletries perhaps when they're on sale, I think is a good idea. Or if you can, just try to create your own homemade DIY cleaning products. That too will help you save some money. Again, try to buy generic products when you can, and try to buy in bulk if you can as well. Okay, so as an overview, what can you do in the coming year to not panic and to be financially strategic? Well, first is to have some kind of an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months. All right, some kind of account somewhere, some bank account or a high yield savings account. You need something where some money, some actual money that you can get to very quickly, set aside so that you can pay your bills if anything happens. And that does help you sleep at night. Trust me. Increase your buffer pantry. So add more canned products or create some shelving in your basement or in a closet somewhere and try to start building up that buffer pantry of food. Buy the staples when they're cheap so that you can avoid those mega price hikes, and then track the prices. That way you know when they're on sale. You know what's a good price. If you don't ever look at the prices really, then how do you know if it's a good price or not when you come upon it? So try to track the prices if you can. Okay, thrift, and resell stuff. Okay, when you can. So try to get into the thrifting game, find things secondhand. Okay, next, of course, is to reduce your high interest debt if you can. All right, rising inflation and high interest debt is not good, right? So you want to try to get rid of that as best you can, as fast as you can. So if you can put any extra money towards your debt, then do it and try not to accumulate more. Okay, I suggest doing an annual audit. An annual price audit. So look at all of your recurring expenses and see what you can trim out. And this is something that I think is important to do at the very least once a year. So as the new year is coming upon us, check your credit scores at all 3 credit bureaus. It's free once a year. Make sure there's nothing on there that's fishy. And then also check all your expenses. Do an audit. Is there anything on there that you are paying monthly, any kind of subscription that you no longer use or no longer need or no longer want? Maybe you're sick of it. You don't watch it. You don't like it. Meh. So get rid of it. So no one can predict the future. We're just all trying to do our best and trying to be smart with our money and with our lives, with our health. And so if you have any predictions, I would love to hear them. Leave them down below in the comments, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Okay.